I was walking to the kitchen at 2 a.m. to get a glass of water when I heard my brother and stepmom whispering. I hid behind the kitchen closet and listened to them talking. This plan is going to work. I just feel it in my bones. Did you remember to leave the letter? Yup, they'll never know what hit them.
Secret plans, don't worry. Detective Azzy's on the case.
Let's go. Grab the car keys. I followed them to the garage and hid behind the door. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want them to see me. They started packing things into the car.
It's exciting.
It was very weird. They went inside the house to get more stuff. I sneaked into the garage and quietly opened the trunk to see what's in there. When suddenly, I heard them coming back. And without thinking, I jumped in the trunk of the car.
This is so me. Panics, ends up in trunk. And let me guess, now they're gonna drive away with her in the trunk and she's gonna see everything.
I wanted to wait for them to leave, but then I could hear them getting into this car and starting the engine.
Oh,
Whatever
I knew
their
it!
plan was, it wasn't worth me being stuck in the trunk. I started yelling as loud as I could, just as I was about to take a deep breath to scream even louder.
Look at her face! Is she okay?
Casey say, "Did you hear something? I thought I heard your sister's annoying voice."
Shots fired. Well, you know what? Your meatloaf is garbage. There, I said it.
Imagine if she ever found out about this. She would expose us to the world. Don't worry, Casey, said my brother. If Haley ever found out, we would take care of her, just like we took care of that dumb secretary of my dad.
Wait, what do they mean by take care of? Are they thinking what I'm thinking? Because if they're thinking what I'm thinking, that's illegal. I want none of that.
I held my breath. I couldn't let them know
Sometimes
I
you
was
just
in
don't
there.
know people.
I started to panic. They were up to no good. I know I never had the best relationship with the two of them, but I couldn't believe that they would hurt me.
Honestly, questions need answers right now.
I had so many questions. What did they do to my dad's secretary? I needed to find out their secret. And just like that, I ended up stuck in the trunk of their getaway car.
She's gotten herself into so much trouble. She needs to get out of the trunk and then never see these people again. Who are these people? Are they family? I don't even know. Oh, it's her mom's car.
Hear them laughing and singing along to songs on the radio, as if nothing was going on. We drove for hours on end. Luckily, I was wearing a watch my dad gave me for my birthday.
Ooh, that has to be the new Apple Watch. Looks really good. 10 out of 10 would buy.
It had a GPS system on it, so I could see where we were going. They were driving
that's
miles
handy.
away from our hometown. Where were
Convenient.
they heading? I managed to tear a little piece of fabric and some foam from one of the back seats.
Okay, please. She's literally clawing, baby girl over here, clawing the car open. I don't know if I believe that.
I could peer through the little hole in the back seat to observe what was happening in the car.
She did not do that. I'm not buying this.
Casey was driving. A few hours later and 300 miles away from home, I was starving and my legs felt numb.
I don't even care what their evil plan is anymore. We gotta get this girl some food. Now, what are we gonna eat for dinner? That's important.
I had a piece of candy in my back pocket that I sucked on for 10 minutes. Another hour passed and I really had to go to the toilet. I desperately wanted to get out of this tight space.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, girl. You know what you gotta do. Gotta find a cup.
I was biting on my lip. I really had to wee. Where was I going to go? Luckily, there was a plastic bottle. I took it and used it. It was so gross and difficult to manage, but I felt relieved afterwards. I saw on my GPS
You did it, though. Also, we didn't need to know. TMI.
watch that we were approaching a gas station. Casey slowed down. Time to stretch legs and get some food, she said.
Her eye, her little eye, just like...
I'm watching you.
She should be recording it with her phone so there's evidence. Why doesn't she call someone?
I
She not
could
have
see
her
them
phone on
getting
her?
out of the car. I wanted to get out. If only I had a metal cutter or hammer, I could break out.
Just use your Wolverine claws. You've already clawed a little hole. Just keep going.
With the two of them gone, I tore at the seat. I tried to remove as much foam and seat cover as I possibly could in order for me to see and hear better. I did it in such a way that they couldn't see me, but I could see them. Casey and my brother got back in the car. I could smell their food. Casey didn't finish her fries, and she placed them on the back seat.
Oh yes. You go, grabbed him. She's like...
Carefully reached out and grabbed her fries. It was the best tasting fries ever.
Who grabs like that?
I was so tired and completely covered in sweat. I fell asleep.
Well, why is
I only
she-
woke
oh.
up.
I was like,
when
why
the
is she
car
dirty?
came
Just
to a
sweat.
standstill. We've been driving for more than 12 hours. I was so cold as it was already dark. My
She slept
watch
for
said
12
that we were near
hours?
the ocean at a harbor. What the hell were they doing here? I could hear men's
they
voices
going?
approaching the car. One man with a deep voice said, "Do you have the payment?" Through the hole, I could see Casey handing him a big envelope. "Yes, it's all there. You can count."
No, I think they're involved in
hear the
some
guy
stuff that
counting
they
the
shouldn't be
money.
involved in.
$20,000.
$20,000. $20,000. Hello. Also, can we like just look at how much she clawed up that car? At this point, she can literally just claw a hole and crawl right out if her hands are that strong.
Then Jimmy finally said something. Okay, here is my dad's phone number. He's probably still at work, so give him some time to get home and discover
what?
we're gone before you make the call. The men agreed. I could hear loud
Are they framing their own dad? This is terrible.
motorbikes roaring.
Who are
and
these
off
people?
They went. Jimmy and Casey jumped back in the car. Casey said, just a few more days and we'll be stinking rich. They both laughed.
But you'll never have your dad back. That's so sad.
When those guys tell my dad that we've both been kidnapped, he'll deposit $2 million into your offshore account in less than a minute. Damn fool. Did I hear correctly? Was my
Not
brother
worth it.
planning his own kidnapping? And now he wants to blackmail my dad for $2 million?
I completely misread the situation. I don't think anything is gonna happen to their dad. Unless it all goes wrong, then something will happen to his dad. So he's faking his own kidnapping? I did not expect this to go this way.
I knew my dad was a really wealthy businessman. That's probably why Casey married him after my mom passed away, because she definitely didn't love him. I had to do something, but what could I do? Stuck in this
Is this
trunk.
her I'm helping
I had
pose?
to get out.
Oh, sure. You see her mouth? It's like...
A few moments later, Jimmy and Casey stopped at a hotel. My GPS watch said it was the Sun Lake Hotel.
She's actually like pretty lucky that they didn't store their bags in the trunk like normal people do. Like who stores their bags in the back seat? So strange. I would have thought she would have got caught already.
They took their bags from the car's back seat and went inside. I had to get out of this trunk. I remember a documentary where they demonstrated how to get out of one when you've been kidnapped.
Use your
I
Wolverine
remember
claws.
how to do it. I started fiddling around with the wires. A
She
shock
should've
went
watched a
through
YouTube
my
video.
body. I got electrocuted.
This girl really can't catch a break. Like, this is not her day. She should not play the lottery.
I think I passed out for a few minutes. The taste of copper wires was really good. So I
What? It was really good? That's when you know you're hungry. When you're like, Chargers are a delicacy.
bit through them again, and voila, the trunk opened. Cautiously, I climbed out of the trunk. The hotel looked very sketchy.
She
I could
figured
see
it out.
Jimmy and Casey checking into
Does
a
that
hotel
work?
room. They were standing in the entrance of the hotel. They got their keys from the
She
front
has to warn her
desk.
dad. She has to warn her
Jimmy
dad.
was holding Casey around her waist. And then they kissed.
Whoa. What is going on here? How is this story going from being really messed up to this?
Like proper kissing. Not a friendly stepmom, stepson kind of kiss. They were together, like a couple. Oh my God. And they've probably been doing this behind my dad's back for months. Now they want to blackmail him. I had to do something about it. I waited for them to go up to their room, and then I would make a dash to the nearest phone. Just as I was about to ask the desk assistant if I could borrow his phone, I could hear the sound of loud motor bicycles roaring. The only place I could hide was
She
in
doesn't
the
have her
trunk,
phone on her.
and so I jumped
Oh,
back
no.
in.
Oh no, run, hide.
The bad men on their
Wait,
motorbikes.
but why do you need to
parked
hide?
right
It's not like
next
these
to the
people know
car.
you.
Their voices were a bit muddled underneath the loud noise of their motorbike.
Like, why you go back in the trunk, girl? Could've gone anywhere.
The guy who works at the reception came walking towards them. I could hear the one bad guy say, "We want to know every move they make. You better let us know where they are at all times." The reception guy agreed and left. I had to warn my brother. The motorbike sound disappeared in the distance. Again, I tried to get out of the trunk. Just as I stepped outside,
Oh, she's a trunk
Jimmy and
escape
Casey were
artist.
walking out of
You
the
see this?
hotel.
Second
They were
escape from
holding
a trunk.
hands and kissing. Gross. They were probably going out for a late dinner. I had no choice but to get back into the trunk.
Again? Girl, you live there now.
If I wanted to warn my brother, I had to approach him when Casey wasn't around. While they were eating dinner, I decided to finally get out of the trunk. I looked like a homeless person, but I didn't care who saw me. I slipped into the restaurant and dashed past everyone eating.
Wait, so you mean to tell me that nobody in this restaurant noticed a girl who looks homeless just like army crawling through the restaurant? Nobody.
I made my way into the men's restroom. I waited in one of the stalls
But why the men's restroom? What's wrong with the women's one? Why are you complicating the story?
for my brother. He was bound to use the little boy's room in a few minutes. I peeked underneath the stall door to see my brother. Finally, he came into the restroom.
Oh, she's waiting for the brother. How is she hanging there? Does she have her feet like wrapped around the little hook that's behind the door? Or maybe she's like backwards flipped over the toilet?
I I unlocked my stall door, opened it up, and pulled him in. He was so shocked. Haley, what are you doing here? I could ask you the same question. What the hell are you doing with Casey? Are you two together? How can you do this to Dad? Haley, you don't know anything. I love Casey, and you don't know what she's capable of. It was as if Casey had a magic spell over my brother.
Yeah, it's called manipulation.
You got here, but if I were you, I would go home now. How could I go home when we were halfway across the country? My brother looked at me and said, "Be safe. I'm going to pretend that I didn't see you here." I wanted to shake him, but he left. My eyes started tearing up. My brother just saved me, so I had to save him. I couldn't let them get away. I snuck out of the restaurant and back into the trunk.
We're back in the trunk again, are we?
Now was my chance. I jumped out of the trunk and ran towards the front desk. "Can I please borrow your phone?" Luckily, the guy agreed. He was too tired to worry anyway. My dad answered the phone. "Sweetheart,
she's gonna
is that
save the
you?
day.
Are you okay?"
She's a
"Yes,
hero.
Dad, but
My
something
hero.
horrible is going to happen." I told my dad what Casey and Jimmy were planning. My dad jumped into action. "Haley, where are you?" "I'm at the Sun Lake Hotel in Sun City." My dad said, "That's halfway across the country." "Are you wearing that watch I gave you?" "Yes, it told me where I was." "Push the green button at the top of it. Now you'll be able to share your location. Make sure you follow your brother and Casey."
Ooh, handy dandy. She got GPS tracking capabilities now. Fancy.
"I'm coming." I could hear my brother and Casey laughing and coming down the stairs. I put the phone down on the front desk and ran to the car.
I feel like Dad's gonna James Bond this situation.
Jumped in the trunk again. The little light on my watch was flashing. They drove to a secluded area where they met the dangerous men. Casey had a laptop on her lap. The men said, "Okay, you two, we're gonna make the call. But as soon as the old man transfers the money, 50% is ours." "What? No way!" They got into a big fight. It sounded like the bad man punched my brother.
50%? You can't change the term of the deal now. I mean, I guess they can. They're bad guys. Bad guys? Yo. You can't fight against people who are bad because they're willing to play dirty when you're not.
The man told everyone to keep quiet as he dialed my dad. The bad man told my dad that he captured his wife and his son, and for a ransom of $2 million, he will let them go. I could tell that my dad agreed immediately. The man read the bank details. A notification went off. The guy forced Casey and Jimmy into their van. "We're not letting you go until we get our share." That moment, police sirens approached. My dad phoned the Sun City police. Thank goodness. They were here to save us. I jumped out of the
They're
car's
here
trunk.
to save the day.
Free at last. The van drove off at speed. The police drove as fast as they could.
Oh no, girl.
But after a 3-hour high-speed chase, Casey
Okay,
and Jimmy
I was
were
worried.
gone.
She jumped out too quick.
A day later, they found my brother, tied up in front of the police station. He later told police that Casey ran off with the bad guy. She immediately transferred the $2 million, so the bank couldn't reverse it.
Wow.
Jimmy
This
and my
stepmom
dad were
is
taken for a
trouble.
fool. Needless to say, $2 million didn't even make a dent in my dad's fortunes.
Oof, that was crazy. I did not expect the story to go that way. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you all so much. Stay awesome, stay sweet, and don't forget to be nice to each other. Bye-bye.